Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Red Ready Man. In this episode we're going to be taking a look at brand new Pokemon, Diggersby, part of the Gen 6 update. I have spent a lot of resources in making this a thing, so please, majority of people watching these videos are not subscribed. Please just take a second to click that subscribe button, click the alert button, and take a moment just to comment. Would make all of those resources spent worthwhile and helps the channel grow as well. Before we get into it, I want to apologise. I haven't posted for around about a week. I'm struggling with inspiration. I'm not loving GBL at the minute, and I don't know why. I'm still enjoying Pokemon, and I've got to level 44, and I'm playing on the incense and stuff like that, but just not feeling it at the minute. So, but luckily, Diggersby is kind of stirred up a little bit of interest. Now, this is not a super successful set, I will warn you. This is not a 5-0 sweep. There are some very different matches in here. But let's take a look. I've actually changed it now where I'm not leading with it. I'm kind of tend to using it as a bit more of a safe swap in the back. I'm now at rank 9. Again, I'm just not playing the sets. Yeah, and I've just not done well the past few days. But we met with a Lucario, which is not a great matchup for us. The fighting and the normal typing is really going to hurt. So quickly swap into Skarmory and take this pair-up punch, which is great. It's almost like a second shield. They swap into Galarian. It is Obstagoon, isn't it? Is it Obstagoon? Yeah, we all know what it is. But yeah, so going to stay in here. Obviously, I'm locked in. I'm going to throw the Sky Attack. Sky Attack will do some damage, and I expect a shield, and I don't get that shield, which is great. So we're in a strongish position here. I am going to shield and try and go for the farm down. And that's quite ambitious because Night Slash charges very quickly, but I managed to do that farm down, which is great. I have a Brave Bird lined up on this Stunfisk. So going to throw this down, and it doesn't do a lot, but it does a healthy amount. Unfortunately, they farmed a little bit of energy here, but I'm going to come in and go straight for the Fire Punch. This will do some damage going unshielded. As you see there, it's super effective. And the beauty of this Fire Punch is it charges so quickly. It is a very fast charging move. Rock Slide does nothing to me. In comes the Lucario again, which is very unfortunate. Going to go in with the Meganium and hopefully suck up another Power Punch here, but it's a Shadow Ball which does heaps of damage. So I'm going to try and get to the Earthquake and just hope that they let this through. My gut feel is that they're going to get a shield, which I do, which is, again, unfortunate. But we're a shield up here, so let's just hope that we can shield this and just somehow come out of this with some energy at the end. So get the attack boost, which is just typical. Doesn't matter, trying to showcase a Pokemon and people are getting attack boosts, but we are able to take it out. We get now what I should have done here was I should have. This is inexperience. This is the first time using this Pokemon. Was I should have just built up to the Earthquake. I got enough time to get to the Earthquake, I think there. But instead I threw the Fire Punch, which gives them a way in. And see, I survived that Rock Slide. I would have got to that Earthquake. So GG's to my opponent. A little bit of a misplay on my part there, which means that I lost that game, not the team. It was bad choices by me. But that's what happens when you're with a new team and you're using it for the first time. You're learning, you're finding what are the good matchups. Now, this is a little bit of an indifferent matchup here. It's not what I really want to be in, but I don't really want my other Pokemon to be seeing it. So we're going to stay in here. We get a shield, which is fantastic. We're going to match their shield here, I think. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm going to hope that it's a Shadow Ball, and it is a Shadow Ball. So that was a correct non-shield. Shadow Ball with the neutral type, normal typing means that it's not going to do an awful lot of damage there. It's not going to be very effective. Hoping that they've got Shadow Bone on here, and it's Flame Wheel, which that's fine. So we now know that it's a Flame Wheel Shadow Ball. And neither of those moves are going to do heaps to us. And we managed to take them out, which is great. We're also a shield up here. So coming in with a Skarmory, because the fighting poison type here will be resisted. We can pretty much take any move that the Oh my gosh, my brain is really not working. That throws at us. You're gonna have to apologise. Like my brain isn't working here, but we managed to take them out there. And now Credilli, I know has rock slide, so I need to be aware of this and perhaps use my shields here because this is probably my best way of winning here. Is just keep going here. Now they have a shield. We have equal shields. I'm going to shield this one. And then I'm going to start throwing some moves which should get their shield, which will allow me to then come in with the Meganium should I have to. Or I think we might be able to just do it with the Skarmory here. So we get their shield, which is fantastic. And then can we get to the Sky Attack? We can. This should take them out, and this should be GG's to my opponent. So yeah, well played there. That was the play there, was to keep the Skarmory alive. It was the best one to be aligned with it, as long as we could shield those rock slides. So going into the next game, it's a very indifferent team. So the first one I lost because of my mistake. Second one I win because of shielding correctly and having that great matchup at the start. Now, this isn't a fantastic matchup for us, but it's not terrible because we do get to the moves quickly, which can threaten shields. So I'm going to throw the fire move here, the fire punch, which doesn't do a lot, but takes them out. Now, this is great. We can go into our Skarmory and we can just farm here. We don't need to worry about any of the moves here. Probably going to be an acid spray, I would think, because of how long. Yeah, acid spray. Going to do no damage, but it does mean our defense drops. So whatever comes in, we have to be aware of that. And our switch clock is still a little way off, so I'm throwing the move straight away purely because I'm hoping that we can kind of drag the switch clock in, but it's still too far away. But we get to another Sky Attack. These are just going to chip away at this Umbreon, and we just keep chipping. We get a shield, so we're a shield up here. We've got rid of their Victory Bell, and Fell Play will take us out. And yeah, going to come in with Diggersby again, and we're going to throw the fire punch, and doesn't do as much as I was hoping. I mean, it is resisted, but I was hoping for a little bit more damage landing there. Now the frenzy plants will definitely mount up here, and I can outpace, but I've got to be very wary of the ice punch. So do need to start shielding it. If this is the is it ice beam? Sorry, not ice punch. Ice beam will obviously one shot us because of our grass typing, and very super effective. But we get to another move here, which takes out the Wigglytuff, and then in comes the Umbreon, and going to try and get to the Frenzy Plant. Unfortunately, I don't. So my play here should be is to go for the Earthquake. Because I didn't get to that move, is just make doubly sure with the Earthquake. This should take them out one shot, as shields have now gone. And that's GG to my opponent. So like it looks promising. It kind of goes downhill a little bit afterwards, but you know, the first three games were all very winnable. Now the thing is with this Diggersby as well is I don't have any max candy for it. I had to put a lot of rare candies in just to pair it up and give it the second move. With max candies, you can actually take this up. It's currently only sitting about, I think, 1,350 CP, something like that. With the max candies, you can get it close to that 1,500. So it's massively underpowered. I'd be really keen to see how it behaves when it does have those extra 10 levels. And I'm definitely going to be having to hunt some of these down to get the candies to transfer them to the XL candies. So swapping out here, I know this is going to be Obtazuka, which is going to debuff me, but it's going to do virtually no damage. So we just take that, but unfortunately my attack has fallen, which puts me in a weaker position here. But it seemed like the smarter move to do at the time was to take it on the Skarmory. Steel typing will resist that poison, so it's probably a good time to get it on. Now, I'm guessing it's going to be another one, which I think I'll survive, but I am going to shield here, and it isn't. It's a Hydro Pump, which is a great shield there. I'm going to go for the Brave Bird just for overkill. You might think, well, why go for Brave Bird? Well, actually, I just don't want to get farmed down if they shield, and whatever comes in, I don't want to farm me down, which is a Snorlax, because what I would really love to do is to get Diggersby on this Snorlax. And then swap out into Meganium to take the body slam, because the body slam is going to do very little. It makes them go into Porygon Z, which makes me think, why do they have a Porygon Z? Now, from my auto rec battles on Twitch, I know that Porygon Z can do a lot of damage, and unfortunately I get the debuff there, but it does take a little bit more. I will outpace it with Frenzy Plant. So throwing the Frenzy Plant now will take them out. And I've got a Frenzy Plant ready, but I'm going to try and go for the Earthquake because they're out of shields, which is exactly the right move to do here. It's going to do a lot of damage to this Snorlax, but doesn't quite take it out. But they're going to have to throw a move, which is fantastic. So we take the Body Slam. Doesn't quite take us out, which is unfortunate because it gives them a little bit extra farm. But hopefully we can get to this Fire Punch before they get to a Body Slam, which we definitely outpace that Snorlax there. And that is GG's. So this team should have won the first one, have won the last three. The last one, unfortunately, is a loss, giving it away. But it was only a 3-2 set. But it was my first set with this team. Put it together. Really wanted to share something on for the weekend on YouTube because it feels bad not posting anything for a week. So here we go. So into a Whiscash. Not a fantastic matchup for us, but not terrible. But we're going to need to land Earthquakes if we want to do any damage here. And my hope is that they just don't know the moveset on this Diggersby because not a lot of people do. So they take that Earthquake. I'm going to let this Mud Bomb come through. Is it Mud Bomb? Yeah, it is a Mud Bomb. So Mud Bomb does a little bit of damage. There's another one lined up. They were faking a Blizzard and they're just going to keep throwing them now, which is fine. And unfortunately they ducked out as I was throwing my charge move, which was trying to bait for a shield, which is the Umbreon, which is not great. Swap out into the Meganium, not necessarily the smartest of moves, but it does mean that I can spam off these Frenzy Plants to try and do some more chip damage to the Umbreon. Don't have fantastic answers to Dark. Don't have terrible answers. Like, there's nothing that gets walled by it, but there's very little coverage for it. So they're at another Dark Pulse, and I'm going to have to take... Oh, it's Foul Play, sorry. Dark Pulse. Foul Play. So I have to take that. I'm going to try and get to the Earthquake and just see whether they think I'm baiting. If this goes through, it would be good. There's a lot of chip damage there, which is fantastic. Is this going to be a last resort? No, it's another Foul Play. So then they've got another one lined up. I have to decide, do I let it go through? And I do decide to let it go through. Yeah, I'm going to come back in with the Diggersby. Get to that Fire Punch just to finish it off or get a shield. It does finish them off, which is great. This wasn't smart. I could have maybe gone up to the Earthquake. But that's okay. They shielded anyway. So, and unfortunately we CMP there. So I am going to have to shield up here. Completely forgetting that I have a Skarmory in the back. And the Skarmory would have probably been better in this situation. And kept that. Fire Punch for later. So another Mud Bomb coming through. Like, it's so annoying with Whiscash that the moves are just non-stop. You are constantly waiting for them to throw. I managed to dive out. Now, my thinking there was that, like, I don't know what they have in the back. If I can get to a point where so that I'm trying to over farm here, I don't want to throw any moves. I just want to keep that energy for whatever comes in. And there's a potential chance that I could come in here. And it's so unfortunate that I didn't swap out sooner from that Whiscash, because it would have been much better to have Diggersby. But here this is probably going to be a Shadow Bone or Bone Club. It's a Shadow Bone, yeah. Shadow Bone takes us out. And just unfortunately not enough time to get to that move. But GG's there to my opponent, well played. So that's my Diggersby video. Would I recommend it? Not unless you've got the XL candies, and I don't think very many people will. But I thought I would build it for giggles. It was actually Dark Force who mentioned it on the Twitch stream today about that it looks a fun Pokemon, and I thought, why not have a go at building one? Listen, thank you very much for joining me. But what are you still doing here? Let's go Pogo.